So let's get to talk about the banking sector recapitalization program that the governor of the central bank spoke about last week Monday. He said one big story there, the market is thinking, how do we get this done? Will the stock market be there to provide that platform that we had about 15 years ago when the then central bank chief, Chukwuma Soludo, ramped the consolidation or recapitalization program through an 18-month window? This time, the central bank governor says it will be done within the next 5 years. So it looks like putting everyone on notice. Let's talk to Fakayejo, who is a stockbroker and capital market analyst. Is joining us at the Nigerian Stock Exchange trading floor. Good morning, Rotimi. Welcome.
Good morning, Bolson.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Hope you had a very great weekend.
Yes, I did. And you?
I'm fine. It's a very wet, woke up to it's a very rainy day this morning, so things were a little bit patchy, but I'm sure it's very cozy in there, the stock exchange. What's your take about this recapitalization of the bank's program, which was announced last week by the central bank chief?
Well, I think it's high time that it be done. And I believe strongly that the step is rather being taken early enough as the CBN has proposed. But be that as it may, looking at the financials of most of the banks, the tier 1 banks, all of them have capital in excess of $1 billion. So we don't know which level that the CBN is going to place the mark or the threshold that they are looking at. So it's only when they come out with that we will really know which banks will be affected. But most likely, the tier 1 banks will not be affected with this new regime of recapitalization. And I think the focus will be on the tier 2 banks.
Okay, so we have just about 5 tier 1 banks. Basically, I can just count all of them here. So it's very few in number. So let's focus on tier 2 banks. Even if the regulator says, well, it doesn't have to be the same regulatory capital across board. Remember, Chukwuma Soludo was 25 billion or nothing. You don't bring 24.9 billion to the table. It's not acceptable. It was not acceptable. So that will be 25 billion naira. So, do you think the central bank this time would segregate it and give perhaps a different level of recapitalization for the tier 1 banks and ask the tier 2 banks to recapitalize a little bit lower, like the insurance sector folks are trying to do, and perhaps the tier 3 banks, which we have a few as well, coming with a little bit of another lower level of capitalization?
Well, I think even presently the banks are stratified. We have some that can perform all functions. We have some that cannot do international transactions. And then we have some that are just limited within the national space. And I think if that will be the case, then definitely the capitalization required will not be the same across board. But one thing we've seen of recapitalization in the Nigerian banking system is that at every point in time that there is recapitalization, we always end up with smaller number of banks. And I don't foresee a situation whereby this will be different.
Okay, so what do you expect to see, Rotimi? Do you see a bit more of recapitalization, and do you see a little bit of consolidation as well?
Well, I think both are likely to be on the table. And I believe, depending on how it is, that's what will determine how actually the banks will go about it. For instance, we've seen the merger that had ensued between Access Bank and Diamond Bank. And I believe that is a good thinking forward that the two of them are really embarked upon, and has really stabilized the Access Bank and also made the shareholders of Diamond Bank to actually remain within the system. But be that as it may, I believe more of consolidation this time around, and the merger may not really be much, but I believe that everybody is going to put in as much as possible. But for the kind of issue that will be raised, I believe we will have more of special placement because of the performance of IPO, public offers and rights issues in recent times. The performance has really not really been fantastic, and I believe there may be other avenues whereby they may think whether they should explore the avenue of special placement that will later be convertible to shareholding for the whoever is bringing the fund.
We've seen some special placements in recent years. Rotimi, I'm sure you agree, since Lamido Sanusi, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano now, when he took down those 5 banks in 2009, exactly 10 years ago. We're just getting to that, the 10th anniversary of that. Anyway, this is July. So we're getting to the exact 10 years ago when that happened. Intercontinental Oceanic Bank, AfriBank, and Bank PHB. So, and then after that, we saw some private placements in Wema Bank. We've seen some special placements in Union Bank and all that. So you think this will be more the way to travel this time around, and not likely any public offer, issue new shares? Do you think the banks have enough huge size of shares on the market already? Like you have Access, the new Access Bank, upon consolidation with consolidating Diamond Bank?
Yes, presently, majority of the banks, except for maybe Stanbic IBTC, most of them have their number of shares in excess of 28 billion, and that is quite huge. Now, looking at the price that most of the banking sector stocks are trending, how many shares will they have to raise in order for them to be able to, and at what price, in order for them to be able to meet up the recapitalization need that is going to affect any of them? So these are some of the things that is making one to believe that coming to the market to do a public offer at this time is really going to be a very Herculean task. But if they are going to get another, maybe a core investor to actually come by way of special placement, and I believe that we'll be able to travel far and faster.
Okay, so do you see some possibilities or some banks saying, look, we want to exit listing on the NSE, for example? Thank you very much, everyone. We may just want to go back to become a private bank.
Well, private bank, publicly quoted bank, I believe they are still both answerable to the Central Bank of Nigeria. And even if they want to go that route, I don't believe it's definitely going to be the best for them. And I believe if they're already here, there's a lot of advantages which I believe are drawn them into being listed in the first instance. And thereafter, I believe strongly that those advantages still exist and they continue to subsist. And as such, I believe I don't think any bank will actually be thinking of taking that route.
Very interesting conversation here, Rotimi. Thank you very much. In your opinion, how soon do you think this should be done, the recapitalization program?
Well, I believe if they give them a time space, or say maybe 2 years, and any of them that is willing to can kickstart at any point. But if they give them a time space of about 2 years, I believe that may be time enough for them to plan and be able to get things done. So if we are looking at a timeline of 2021 year end, I think that will be fair enough for anyone to be able to actualize that dream. And I believe by then also the market definitely will have picked up and things will have gotten better.
Okay, thank you so much, Rotimi. We'll keep talking about this as time moves on and as we get more clarity from the central bank, the financial regulator, on the banking sector recapitalization program being planned. Thank you so much. Have a great day and a profitable trading week ahead of you. Rotimi Fakayejo, stockbroker and a capital market analyst.